So, children, let us start with the chapter 3.6, The Merchant of Venice. The Merchant of Venice, children, it is a 16th century play written by William Shakespeare, in which a merchant in Venice named Antonio defaults on a large loan provided by a Jewish moneylender, Shylock. It is believed to have been written between 1596 and 1599. Okay, children. So now see, this is William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language. Okay, children, he was the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Okay, this is the greatest writer in English language, William Shakespeare. Okay, now children, this is the lagoon. Okay, we have seen a lagoon word. Okay, in the earlier this video, there came a word lagoon. So children, lagoon, it is a body of water separated from larger bodies of water by natural barrier. Lagoons are separated from larger bodies of water by sandbars or barrier reefs. Reefs means, children, chattan. We say na chattan rock, that is reefs, coral reefs or other natural barriers. The word lagoon derives from the Italian word laguna, which means pond or lake. Okay, so this is regarding lagoon. Okay, now let us start with the chapter. Okay. Okay, now textbook page number 70. All of you ready? Yeah. So let us start the play by William Shakespeare. Okay, so Antonio was a merchant who lived in Venice. He was a merchant. The merchant means a person whose job is to buy and sell products in large amounts, especially by trading with other countries. That is merchant. Okay, so Antonio was a merchant who lived in Venice, a prosperous city in Italy. So prosperous, it is an adjective here for the noun city in Italy. So prosperous means we can say successful, usually by earning a lot of money. So here it is prosperous city, means successful city. Okay, in those days, that is about 500 years ago. About 500 years ago, sea voyages were dangerous. You know voyages. Voyages means long journey through sea. So in those days, sea voyages were dangerous. And yet, some adventurous merchants traveled across the sea. But then also, some adventurous means willing to incur risk. The merchants who were willing to try new or difficult things which may often be dangerous, so they were willing to take the risk. So that kind of merchants, okay, that is adjective here, adventurous merchants traveled across the seas. Some others spend a lot of money in sending ships to faraway countries. So some others spend a lot of money sending ships to faraway country. They were ready to spend a lot of money in sending their ships to other faraway countries. These ships brought back spices and other treasures from India and other countries. So these merchants, they used to send ships to other countries, and these ships, when they return back, they used to bring back what? Spices means, children, you know, an aromatic vegetable substance used to give flavor to food. The example like cloves, okay, pepper, okay, they are the spices, or we can say masale. Okay, so these ships brought back spices and other treasures. Treasures means precious, it can be precious metals, gems, or other valuable objects. Okay, from where? From India and other countries. The merchants sold these things in Europe. So when these ships bring back all these things, spices and treasures, so what the merchants do? They sold these things in Europe, and in this way, they made a lot of profit in this business. So in this way, they became rich and they made a lot of profit in this business. Understood till here? Yes. So now, at the time, we will move to second paragraph. At the time when the story begins, at the time when story begins, Antonio was waiting for his ships to return with merchandise. So it is said that Antonio, he was also merchant. Okay, so he was waiting for his ship to return with merchandise. Merchandise means goods that are bought and sold, that is the merchandise. So he was waiting for his ships to return with merchandise, means with that, as told earlier, with spices and treasures. With merchandise, he had put almost all his money in the ships. So he has invested all his money in his ships. Okay, so that the ships return with merchandise, and he will make a lot of profit in his business by selling those things in Europe. Understood? So Antonio was a kind man. Okay, he was waiting for his ships, and now it is said what kind of person he was. He was a kind person. He had many friends, but his best friend was Bassanio. Okay, his best friend was Bassanio. Bassanio was a young and handsome nobleman, but unfortunately, he had no money. Okay, Antonio was a kind man. He had many friends, but his best friend was Bassanio. Bassanio was a young and handsome nobleman. Again, young and handsome adjectives used for nobleman. Okay, nobleman means a man who belongs to highest social rank. Okay, by rank he is belonging to highest social rank in society, is having a highest place. Okay, that is called nobleman. So here Bassanio was a young and handsome nobleman, but unfortunately he had no money, means he was a poor guy. Okay, unfortunately means due to some bad luck, or we can say sadly, he had no money. He was young, he was handsome. Okay, but he had no money, he was a poor guy. Now, Bassanio wanted to marry Portia. Now, who is this Portia? Portia was a beautiful and intelligent girl. Okay, Portia was beautiful and intelligent girl. She was the only daughter of a very wealthy man. Bassanio wanted to marry Portia. Portia was beautiful and intelligent. Who was she? He was the only daughter of a very wealthy man. Her father had died, leaving her a large estate. So, she was a daughter of a wealthy man, and her father had died, but he left her a large estate. Now, estate means children. We can say all the money and property owned by a person at the time of his or her death. That is the estate. So, her father left lots of estate, means lots of money and property owned by her father. At the time of his death, it automatically will go to what? To Portia, because she was the only daughter of that wealthy man. Okay, so her father had died, leaving her a large estate, lots of money she was having. Okay, now in his will, means it is a legal document. Will means an official statement of what a person has decided should be done with their money and property after their death. So, will, it is a legal document, legally made document. In the document, it is written that what that person will do, that what that person decided should be done with their money and property after their death. So, if the person dies, so after his death, what about his property? What about his money? Who will get all his property and all his money? That all, everything is written in detail in that document. Okay, that is called the will. So, in his will, whose will? Portia's father's will. So, in his will, Portia's father had written how Portia's husband should be selected. So, in his last, means a legal document, official document, he mentioned he had written how Portia's husband should be selected, because he was knowing that now that he will be no more. So who will take care of Portia? So he had put some condition. He had written how Portia's husband should be selected. Okay, he there was some conditions. Let us see what was that. He had set a test for her suitors. So he had set a test. He made a test. So the person who will uh, pass this test will be the suitor, will be the person who will marry Portia. So he had set a test for her suitors. They had to choose between three caskets. Now, children, caskets means a little or decorative box for jewelry. Okay, that is casket. That is a casket, a small decorative box we can say. Okay, small decorative box. So they had to choose between three caskets, one of gold, one of silver, and one of lead. Okay, one of gold, one of silver, one of lead. Let it is a metal. Okay, now let us move to another next paragraph, that is next page. Okay, now children, here you can see the casket. Okay children, now the remaining part we will see in the next video. Okay.